I go into companies where the businesses are pretty successful already, and I guarantee that I'll increase people's revenue, I'll increase their profit, I'll increase their sales, or everything I do is free. So here's what I do. I go to first principles. I break the sales process into as many small pieces as is humanly possible. I mean, within reason. And I break it down into small pieces because most businesses' sales process is kind of a black box. It's full of these massive steps like first meeting, second meeting. Yeah, what goes on? What happens within that first meeting? What's the difference between a fabulous one and a dodgy one? I break the process down into a series of steps, each of which I can measure. So, of this many times, if I do this 100 times, how often does it go to the next stage of the process? When I do the second stage of the process, how often does that go to the third stage, and so on and so on? And what I then do is I go as early in the process as possible and I start looking for improvements. Because getting 25% better when your sales process is a black box, that's a big ask. It's probably impossible because if you coulda, you woulda. But I'll tell you what you can do. If you've analyzed your sales process and you know your sales results, you know your conversion rates from step to step, what you can do is get 5% better at 5 things. When you multiply them all together, 26% increase. Job done. Maybe you can't get 5% better at 5 things. Maybe you can only get 3 or 4% better at 6 things, 7 things, 8 things. That's fine. Ramp up each of the percentages, multiply them together, and you get a massive end result. You get a massive improvement in the final result. You don't have to walk into the gym and do a 1,000-pound deadlift. You can go into the gym, lift what you can today, make it a little bit heavier tomorrow, a little bit heavier the day after that, a little bit heavier, and over time, the results will improve. But in sales, you can get massive improvements really fast just by analyzing what the individual steps are. That's how I do it. That's what I do for a living.